Hello everyone! It is Becca Switzer with Roof Sales Mastery and author of Diamonds in the Sky, Introduction to Storm Restoration Sales. And here I am with two canines around me once again, just gnawing down on rawhides. Here's one. Can you see him? He's so black you just can't even see him. And then the other one's under here. I'm not going to try to finagle my laptop under the desk because I'll probably break it in half, and that would really put a damper on my day and my career. So anyways, if you can hear them just chomping away on bones, I'm really sorry, but this keeps them from harassing me nonstop, so I guess we're just going to have to deal with it. So, what we're going to be talking about today here is the myth about the numbers game. Guys, in case you haven't really noticed, the storm restoration industry is kind of like the wild, wild west. It is an industry that has not had a lot of real systems applied to it. It's not super mainstream yet. So it's just kind of like a lot of people that see an opportunity and are just kind of grasping at it. And a lot of people do really well. And a lot of people do really poorly. And then they quit and they go work somewhere else. But I want to bring attention to the idea that too many people have accepted this numbers game thing. For example, you just get hired by this company that shows you how much money you're going to make, and they tell you, dude, it's not that hard. It's seriously simple. Insurance companies pay for these jobs. People need help, so we help them get their roofs approved, blah, blah, blah. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. You just go out there, and it's a numbers game, okay? There's no rhyme or reason to it. You just get out there, and you knock as many doors as you can, and you sit in front of as many people as you can, and you get on as many roofs as you can, and it's just a numbers game. That's how it works. Guys, to an extent, yes, sales is a numbers game. The more you do, the more you're likely to come across the things that you want, right? The more time and energy you put in, yes, by default, you should be getting more results for that. But if you are seriously trying to convince yourself, your salespeople, or me that this whole gig is just a numbers game and that there's no secret sauce to it, there's no rhyme or reason, just get out there, knock doors, and if you're not getting the results you want, knock more doors, you're delusional, okay? You're off your fucking meds. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is this myth that it's just a numbers game. Guys, yes, it's a numbers game to an extent, but the fact of the matter is there are best practices and there are things that are proven to work consistently that you can and should be using to get better results. Just writing the numbers game claim basically means, well, if you do 100 inspections, you should get like 10 or 15 appointments. Okay, that's if you have the shittiest door-knocking approach and sales presentation that ever did live. On the other hand, you could get those same 10 or 15 contracts doing 20 or 25 inspections with the right recipe, okay? There are things that work at the door consistently. There are things that work on the sales presentation and the close consistently. There are ways to handle objections that work consistently. There are ways to prevent objections that work consistently. So, if you're going to just ride out this numbers game thing, here's what you're basically telling people to do. Go kill yourself out there, and if you're willing to endure just constant rejection and failure, you'll stumble across a couple deals, and maybe you'll do average, or maybe you'll get a couple deals. Or you can say, here's what works. Use this. You will get results, okay? Stop just falling back on this numbers game thing. That's ridiculous. It's like saying, oh, well, if you don't, I know I use cake recipe all the time, but it's the easiest one, so just bear with me, you guys. God. It would be like saying, oh, well, making a cake right is just a numbers game. Yeah, you might throw in some random ingredients here and there, and you might fail, but if you keep trying and do different measurements and bake it for different temperatures and use different ingredients, eventually, if you do it enough times, you'll get a couple cakes out of it. Okay, maybe that's true, but you know what else is true? If you use a recipe that actually has been proven to work over and over, you will consistently get a good cake. You might mess it up every now and again. That's just the breaks, kid. But my God, please do not tell me that sales is just a numbers game. You need to play the game in your favor. So when you have approaches for everything, whether it's at the door or at the kitchen table or on the adjuster meeting or doing supplements or whatever, if you have things at work and you're practicing those things, then yes, it's just a numbers game, but it's a numbers game in your favor. The more you do, the more results you get. But if you're just flopping around out there, what's happening here? If you're just flopping around out there like a fish out of water and just, well, I'll just keep doing more, you're gonna get burned out. You're making our industry look bad. Like, there's no sense to it. Please stop doing that. So what I'm getting at here is, stop relying on the numbers game. If you're a company owner, stop telling your salespeople it's just a numbers game. That is a disservice to your people, and it is a lie. And get yourself some training, some legitimate training that works. I don't even care if it's from me or not. I can tell you my stuff works, and hundreds of contractors all over the country use it. But whether it's mine or somebody else's, go and get some legitimate training so that when you go out there, you're not just relying on sweat equity to try to get some deals, okay? Do the right things, do things that work, make it work for you. The idea is to get as close to 100% as possible on everything. At the door, at the kitchen table, on the adjuster meetings with your supplements. I'm not saying get 100% on all of it. That's not realistic, nor is it possible. But the closest you can get to 100%, even if that means 40% at the door or 50% at the kitchen table, you want to get as close to 100% of a closing ratio as possible for all those things so that you are getting the most return out of the time and energy you're putting in. Because you guys, here is the fact of the matter. You are already putting in time and energy. So let's say that you're working 40 hours a week. If that 40 hours a week is only getting you 2 deals, then we could turn that 40 hours a week into getting you 6 deals if you're using better strategies. Anyways, if you need help with said strategies and you're not sure what to do, or you're tired of killing yourself out there to make just an average income, this industry is way too profitable and lucrative to be getting average results and to be busting your ass. You do not have to bust your ass. I promise. You guys, like the last year that I sold, or second to last year that I sold, before I really started doing Roof Sales Mastery, I sold like $1.25 million. I was the #1 salesperson in the company, and I made like $240,000 that year. I did not bust my ass, okay? I think I did exactly 100 deals that year. So my average job size was about 12,500, and I worked like 3 or 4 days a week for maybe 3 or 4 hours a day. I am not kidding. Those results are possible, but you have to be as close to 100%. Okay, so if I needed to get, let's say, I know that I worked 8 months a year. Let's do some math. I worked 8 months out of the year, and I got 100 jobs. So that means that I basically was turning in 12 and a half, okay, jobs per month. So that's about 3 or 4 jobs a week. If I knew I needed to get that many, then to get 3 or 4 contracts for me, I was closing consistently 90%. So I had to do 4 or 5, appointments to get those deals out of it. And to get those 4 or 5 appointments, I probably had to knock 40 or 50 doors, let's say. So you could get those results knocking 200 doors, or you could get those results knocking 40 or 50 if you're getting the right approaches. Anyways, I could get real off topic and crazy over here, but that's just what I wanted to talk with you guys about today is stop deluding yourselves into believing you have to kill yourself to do this job and just rely on the numbers game. Don't ever say that again. Use stuff that works and you will get good results consistently. You're not gonna have to just take a stab in the dark. So, if you want help with that, please check out www.roofsalesmastery.com. If you're a cheap ass, I'm just kidding, you can also just subscribe to the YouTube channel here. I give free little tips and quick, tricks and things like that out here as well. If you're really serious about enrolling in the gold, like the actual programs where I'm giving you the exact recipe for everything, word for word scripts, full length, videos, tutorials, examples, you name it. I dump my best content, so I'm just handing it to you and saying, here, this is what to do and say. Email me, Becca, BECCA @roofsalesmastery.com. Check out my programs. The Advanced Sales Training Program is a great one. The New Hires Training is great for training newbies if you're a business owner. And I would be happy to help you guys. It is my favorite. I like to watch you guys succeed. Don't hesitate to reach out. Invest in yourself. So, guys, that's it for now. Again, hope that these chewing rawhides here didn't distract you too much. Maybe my loud, obnoxious voice distracted you more than that, so that'd be positive. Anyways, I'll chat with you guys later. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next video.